What does today's announcement really mean? Well, it does include protecting communities facing extreme heat right now with more funding for FEMA and more support for low-income families for air conditioning, plus $2.3 billion for infrastructure and actions to boost the development of offshore wind turbines. To help us better understand what is going on, Assistant Professor Molly Nation from Florida Gulf Coast University joining us right now. Molly, okay, as someone who studies the environment and the climate, what did you think of the president's remarks today?
Well, I really commend President Biden's efforts to confront climate change and use of interagency support to combat the climate crisis domestically. His efforts to help support alternative energies and protect those most vulnerable communities. Ultimately, I think he falls short that $2.3 billion is not enough, and it costs the American taxpayers and the government hundreds of billions of dollars each year to rebuild communities that are impacted by hurricanes and wildfires. So it sounds as though in the coming weeks that he'll make additional efforts through executive orders to further address the climate crisis.
Yeah, you know, there's politics and there's science, and you used to be a high school science teacher. You now help teachers with climate change curriculum. And like everything else, this issue has almost always been political. Do you see that changing at all when it comes to the debate? And what do you tell today's high school generation about their future?
Well, I certainly think that we feel climate very intimately here in Florida, and that many local communities see the impacts of climate change. So it's not as politicized as it might be in other parts of the country. But I would tell high school students and middle school students the same thing that I tell my college students, that they're amongst the generation that will continue to feel climate change and be most impacted by climate change, and that efforts to combat the climate crisis are need to be collective, and that includes young people becoming active.
Well, the noise is certainly getting turned up as we see those record temperatures also being turned up. Molly Nation, thank you for joining us today with your perspective. Appreciate it.